Hi, this is Alex Weeks here in Ponca City today at the Ponca City Aviation Boosters Club fly-in. This is a monthly fly-in, the first Saturday of every month in Ponca City. We're here with Steve McGuire, the past president of the Ponca City Aviation Boosters Club. Steve, we were talking before about the length of time this club has been around. When was this club initially established?
This club was formed back in the 1960s. A group of people here on the airport recognized a need. At that time, the airport was had quite a bit of disrepair, and just really a group of people got together to try to do some things to improve the airport, and that was the foundation of the Aviation Booster Club.
So rather than a flying club that has airplanes where people are renting or sharing aircraft, this is a club that is actually here to promote the airport and improve the facilities here.
That's right. The charter of the club is to improve and enhance the Ponca City Airport and to stimulate an interest in aviation in the Ponca City area.
Well, you guys have got a really popular fly-in here. This is a fly-in we've been coming to for a number of years. How long has the fly-in part been happening?
We've been doing this breakfast for a little over 10 years now. It started out small, and it's gotten very popular.
It's turned into a pretty good fundraiser for you?
It has. It generates quite a bit of income for us, and all of that money goes back into aviation here in the Ponca City area. We also sponsor an Aviation Explorer Scout troop. We send these scouts all over the country to a variety of different aviation type events. They've been to Oshkosh several times, so the money we raise here goes back into the community, and we try to put it into aviation.
Well, that's a great deal. How many people would you say you feed here for breakfast in your average month?
In the past year, we've averaged about 400 people. We've had 3 months in the last year we served over 500. That'll bring in 125 to 150 airplanes.
Wow, that's a lot of airplanes. I imagine parking all those aircraft is quite a chore.
Yes, it is. There are times when we've got airplanes parked basically from the north end of this airport all the way to the south end. People have to do a lot of walking from their planes to get up here to where the breakfast is. They don't seem to mind.
Well, and it's not just aviation. It's not just fly-in customers that you have here at the breakfast. I've noticed in months past that you have a number of people from the local community here that come out and support the airport.
We have a lot of support from the local community. Typically, about half the people that come to breakfast come from the local community, so there's a lot of support here for that. We also have a lot of support from our local government. This facility we're in was built with donated goods and volunteer labor, and most of those donations came from the community. The city gives us this building. We rent this for $1 a year, and they provide the services to mow the yard around here and what have you. And we have a lot of support from the local city government for our aviation community here.
Well, that's a great deal. Well, this is a really neat deal, and you guys you really deserve kudos for putting together such a great, I think that this is a representative event that really others ought to try to emulate around their airports. It's proof that you can make an airport work and make it part of the local community.
I think that's absolutely true. It takes a lot of volunteers. You can go look in the kitchen, but it takes about 25 or 30 people to do this, all volunteer labor. But it's a lot of fun. We really enjoy doing it, and it's something we look forward to every month, and I think the people that come in look forward to having us do.
Well, I know we do. Well, it's really nice to meet you. Thank you very much for your time and telling us about this. Okay. Well, here we are back in the kitchen area of the Ponca City Aviation Boosters Club at the monthly fly-in that the Booster Club operates here in Ponca City. We're here with one of our kitchen volunteers, Sarita Helt. How long have you been volunteering, Sarita, with the Booster Club here?
Well, for as long as we've been doing this, and I'm not real sure how long that is.
Well, we heard earlier from Steve McGuire that that's about some dates back to the 60s. So you've been doing this, is it that long? Oh, I see. The club has been here since the 60s, but the breakfast has only been for the last 10 years or so. Okay, so you've been doing this for about 10 years?
Yes.
Wow, great deal. So about how many people would you say that you feed here on an average Saturday?
We have served over 500.
500 people. That's quite an operation.
It is, in the length of time that we serve. That's quite a few.
It's right, because it's a very compressed time period. There's just really a few hours that you do that in.
Yes.
Well, so you're really operating a commercial kitchen here then, I'd say.
Well, we try to. Right. We try to obey all the rules.
Well, that's important, isn't it?
Yes.
All of that. So how many people do you have back here in the kitchen in order to feed that many people?
Well, I think about 20.
About 20 people.
Right.
Wow, that's quite an operation.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, well, great. Well, thank you very much for your
You
time.
bet.
Okay.
Thank
Well, we're inside the dining area now at the Ponca City Booster Club Fly-In, and we're here with Bob Castle, who is here today with Civil Air Patrol. I take it you guys flew in today.
Yeah, we're all doing training on the way up here, and so we're doing some instrument training, some cross-country training, and one of the crews is going to be doing some video slow scan downlinks on the way back.
Wow, great deal. So you're out doing some training, and it's good to stop by and have breakfast on the way. Good
Yeah, this
excuse
is a
to
really good
come
deal.
up.
This is my first time up here.
Oh, really? Your first
Yeah.
time? Great deal. So the Civil Air Patrol, your primary mission, tell us a little bit about the Civil Air Patrol.
Well, we've got three primary missions: search and rescue, aerospace education, and our cadet program, which is open to cadets, boys and girls ages 12 through 18. And we offer orientation flights for them. They can get involved with emergency services training. They can do radio work, communications work. They actually go out on search and rescue missions and help look for downed aircraft.
Okay. And so for cadets and also for pilots who want an opportunity to fly and use their skills in the Civil Air Patrol, it's an opportunity to get out and fly in the Civil Air Patrol aircraft and come out and do things like you guys are doing here today. Is that
Right. Yeah, we usually have a search and rescue exercise here in the state about once every 3 months. And it's a good opportunity for pilots as well as our other aircrew members, because we also use people as scanners and observers. So they don't necessarily need to be a pilot to be a member of Civil Air Patrol, but that gives them an opportunity to practice their search and rescue skills.
So this is a pretty busy fly-in. We flew in here ourselves today. What was it like coming in? Was it?
It was interesting. I don't think I've been to an airport that had this much traffic in the pattern at one time.
Yeah, I think there were probably about 8 aircraft in the pattern when we came in, and it's pretty busy, isn't it?
As that when we came in too.
Yeah, it's definitely different than landing at Tower Airport where there's somebody to tell you where everybody is.
Yeah, so you definitely have to keep your eyes out in the cockpit and look for other traffic.
Great, great deal. Well, we really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a nice flight back and good training the rest of the day.
Thanks.
Okay, great, thanks. All right, we're here in Ponca City, and this is really special. We've got our co-host, Adam Pratt. He just pulled up here in his mall, and he's got his dog here in the back of the airplane. So, Adam, tell us a little bit about your airplane here. What is this airplane?
It is a Mall M7. This is a tail dragger.
It's a tailwheel airplane. What's an airplane like this used for?
Oh, like Alaskan bush plane. You know, just fly around in the low backcountry strips and just have some fun.
Have you ever done any bush flying in this airplane?
I have. I've been up to Idaho and around that area, and me and my dad we've done a lot of flying around there, so it's a lot of fun.
So, do you always take your dog with you?
Pretty much, just mostly the fly-ins, but you know, unless on long trips, you know, we can't take him there because we can't really feed him when we're in the air. But
Yeah.
you know,
Well, that's a great deal. I bet does he really like flying?
he loves it. Yeah, you'd think he'd kind of would bother him from the pressure, but he didn't mind it too much. So he just loves being out here with the people.
So how can you park out here on the grass? Everybody else is parked on the pavement.
Well, for one, it's a front row parking. We get to eat food first, and it's a lot easier too because you can taxi in with these big old balloon tires, and it's a lot easier to taxi over here.
So when you land this airplane, do you usually wheel land it, or do you three-point land this plane?
Well, I do both, but I like to do a wheel landing just because I'm getting better at them, and
Saves tail wheel, doesn't it?
that does, yeah.
That's a good deal. All right. So are we going to get Levi out of the airplane here, Adam?
Yeah, we're letting them out.
I imagine Levi looks forward to the first Saturday of every month.
Oh yeah.
Do you guys usually come up here to Ponca?
Yeah, pretty often. He comes up here just about every time.
So, yeah, he's a real friendly dog, isn't he?
Oh, he's awesome.
So this is kind of a neat setup. Tell me a little bit about the airplane here. This has got a really nice cargo area back here.
Well, yeah, this is a really good cargo, and we took out the back seat so we can have a lot of room.
So you usually got a back seat that goes in there.
There's normally a back seat right here, and you actually have a seat right there, but it's just better for 2 people because you can haul a whole bunch of stuff in there.
So you put camping gear, hunting gear, stuff like that back here?
Yep.
Makes a great place for the dog to sit.
And Levi, yeah, it's a great place. So.
Wow, what a great airplane. Well, here we are. We've just walked up. What kind of airplane is this? A Cessna 180?
No, this is Cessna 170.
This is a 170.
Yes.
Okay, and so this is about how many horsepower is a Cessna 170? This one?
Well, original 170s were 145, but this one has an engine mod, so it's 210.
So what model year is this airplane?
1951.
1951 Cessna 170. What a great airplane.
Oh yeah, we love it.
How long have you had it?
I've had it since 1971.
Wow, what a great deal. So this is, you've had this airplane a long time. You're
Yeah.
very familiar with this aircraft.
Oh yeah.
So you guys usually come up to Ponca City here?
Yeah, we come up here. We try to come up almost every time. We miss occasionally.
Where are you out of?
We're out of close by Edmond, Oklahoma.
Okay.
We fly out of a grass strip.
Oh, really? Up
So-
North Edmond?
Yeah, we have a hangar and a little grass strip out there.
A great deal.
Yeah.
All right, good talk to you. Well, we had a little treat here. As we're out here filming the fly-in here at Ponca City, these guys pulled up in a 1926 Travel Air, and they were out, looked like maybe just shooting some touch and goes. Is that right?
That's it. We just come down here to fly a little bit. Just a beautiful morning, a little chilly,
Yeah.
but it's a wonderful morning to be flying.
It really gives you an appreciation for the guys that were flying in the mid-20s and late 20s in these airplanes with an open cockpit. I imagine there were a lot of cold pilots out there in those days.
You ain't kidding. Yeah, they were probably dressed a little bit better than we are for this little chilly weather, but
We saw a guy earlier today in a Stearman, and he had a full-blown snowsuit on, snowmobile suit. Looked like he was out ready to go snowmobiling up in the Northwest somewhere.
well, he wasn't as tough as we were. Yeah.
So tell us a little bit what it's like to fly this airplane.
Oh, it's an old airplane. It flies like an old airplane. It's doesn't handle as briskly as a more modern type airplane, but it does okay.
So we've got ailerons on the upper wing, and I'm looking. Do we see ailerons? We don't have it just
No.
on the upper.
No, just two ailerons on the upper wing. Yeah, big ailerons, huge.
And I imagine that back in the days when these aircraft were designed, we didn't have the asymmetric aileron, so you probably got a lot of adverse yaw when
There
you
is a
turn.
lot of adverse yaw. Yeah, it's
So
a
you
rudder airplane. You use
Really
a lot
got to
of
know what
rudder.
you're doing
Yeah.
with the rudder.
Yeah.
Yes. How is it on landing? You three-point this or wheel land it?
Both 3-point and wheel. If it's nice and calm and on a grass runway, I'll always 3-point it. Sometimes if you have a little gusty crosswind, you might want to wheel it on, but I don't fly it that much. I just fly it on occasion. The gentleman that owns it lives here in Ponca City, and he gives me the opportunity to take a few people for rides, and I really enjoy flying the airplane.
So, the first question that goes in my mind is what kind of training do you have to do to have somebody trust you in a 1926 Travel Air? You have a lot of tailwheel experience and experience in older
Yeah.
aircraft?
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
Yeah, I've been flying tail draggers for probably 30 years.
Wow.
So it's
So how does this one compare to a modern aircraft? What are the differences that a pilot might see in this airplane?
well, like I said earlier, the control response isn't as crisp as a newer type airplane, but it's just an airplane, and whatever airplane I'm in, I really like flying.
This got a radial engine on it?
Yeah.
What size is this airplane or engine?
It's a Wright J6-7, and it's just over 200 horsepower.
Okay. So that's really probably quite a bit of horsepower for
Yeah,
this
it's got
airplane.
quite a bit of horsepower, and it'll suck the fuel through it too.
I bet it will.
You can run about 14 gallons an hour through it if you run it a little hard. But normally cruising around here, we do about 1,600 RPM, which seems low compared to a modern aircraft engine. But it's got a big propeller and 1,600 RPM and maybe 20, 22 inches of manifold pressure. So
Well, as we
about
get in,
100 mile an hour.
about what speed would this airplane cruise at?
About 100 miles an hour at 1,600 RPM. You can rev it up, you can run it up to about 1,800. It's 2,000 RPM red line, but about 1,600 RPM, it's 100 mile an hour. And if you're in a hurry to get someplace, you can go ahead and turn it on up a little closer to red line and get about 120 miles an hour out of
Probably
it.
sucks the gas through it at that
It does, it
when
does.
it's up high.
Yeah, you'll run about 16, 17 gallons an hour at a higher RPM setting.
So in 1926, when they built this airplane, what was their target market? Who were they building this plane for?
Well, I really couldn't answer that. I guess anybody that wanted to buy an airplane. I have no idea how much it sold for new. Probably considerably less than what it would cost you today. But this one has been restored. I don't know, Joe. Do you know how long ago it was?
12, 14 years.
Yeah.
Been restored about 12, 14 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Well, it really looks like it's in good shape. It's a tube and fabric airplane, obviously, as
That's
like
correct.
all of them were back
Yeah.
in those days.
yeah, you betcha. Yeah.
So this airplane that we're in front of here is a Travel Air, and there's actually been at least a couple of models of Travel Air, but this is the original Travel Air. I think this is a 1926 Travel Air biplane, if I'm correct. Tell me a little bit about the history of the Travel Air and the Travel Air Company.
Well, I think the history of the Travel Air Company is what's most interesting in the fact that three of the major principals of early aircraft were together in this company before they split off. That's Clyde Cessna, Walter Beach, and Lloyd Stearman. And they all went on to major careers in aircraft manufacturing as individual companies after they quit making the Travel Air.
Right, Cessna, obviously everybody's heard of Cessna and Beach, not quite the household name, but certainly an extremely popular aircraft company with the Bonanza and Baron, and then all the way up to the King Airs and the large
Yep.
airplanes. And then Stearman is another biplane, the Boeing Stearman. It has
Yeah,
the Stearman name. And it's a very similar airplane to this in some ways. Well, this is a neat deal. We've got ourselves, we're looking at a Vans RV6. This is a home-built airplane, so whoever owns this aircraft built this airplane themselves. One of the neat things about the RV6 is this is, whereas a lot of home builds are composite construction, the RV6 is a traditional design with aluminum and drilled rivets. So this is an airplane that's actually fairly easy to build for your average home builder. Well, here we are getting ready to leave Ponca City, getting back in the Turbo Bonanza. Sort of check the oil before we go. It's really been a great Saturday. The temperature here today is about right around 50 degrees. Started out at about 45, it's up to about 50 degrees now. And I don't know how many airplanes we had today, but we had a lot of airplanes. The flying's pretty much over now. I can see from here about 3 aircraft on upwind departing the field, and we're getting ready to go ourselves. It's really been a great fly-in, great Saturday here at Ponca City today. You know, we've been coming up here to Ponca City for probably the last 7 or 8 years, and we don't come every month, but we sure do make an opportunity to try to get up here once every few months. And this is really one of the greatest fly-ins in our area. An excellent opportunity for camaraderie, see old friends that you know from around the area, and get an opportunity to catch up and really see some neat aircraft. We've seen everything here at the Ponca City Fly-In, from a Stearman that pretty much shows up every weekend, all the way to a Beach Stagger Wing, which stops in every once in a while, and even an old Bamboo bomber, early Cessna twin-engine airplane that was in here last month. So this is an excellent weekend adventure for us. It's just about an hour's flight for us, and a lot of fun to come up here to Ponca City.